Guess what time it is? We've made it to Friday. TGIF edition of the show. Hottest show on the streets, bringing you your Bama football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of Touchdown Alabama Magazine. We're coming to you in prime time right now, 7 p.m. Appreciate you guys checking out the show. And as always, we're bringing you the show from the magic city of Birmingham, streaming it to you on YouTube. Speaking of the channel, you know what time it is. Hit that subscribe button right now. Smash subscribe. Get every friend, every family member, every diehard Bama fan, casual Bama fan, consumer of Crimson Tide football to subscribe as well. Because if you love the content, guess what? They will also. Don't forget to leave a like on the show too. Hit that thumbs up. Run those likes up. Give a like on the show. Make the Short Show your network platform, channel, and space to talk Bama. We're trying to hit 50 likes out the gate for the show. Starting us off. Appreciate you guys hitting that like button. That daily super chat go $100. Daily super chat going $100 right there. We thank you, the Bama faithful, for making this your program right here. We got an electric show tonight. Eli, we're going to be joined a little bit later on by the man, the myth, the walking legend, Justin Smith, the lead scouting and recruiting analyst for TDA. What's going on here? Update on this 2023 class. Is Bama about to flip one of the top offensive tackle prospects for 2023 for the early signing, National Signing Day on next week? We'll get that from Justin. Could Coach Saban wrap up this class with it being number one in the nation? We'll get that from Justin as well. We want to hear from you, though, the outstanding fans of Tide football. You can do this by calling 205-448-1358. The number to call in to let your voice be made known on the show, 205-448-1358. And one more time, 205-448-1358. Want to hear from you. But Eli, let's get this thing smoking right here as the biggest news of the week came today. If you're an Alabama fan, Will Anderson and Bryce Young, they were already beloved in Alabama culture, right? They were already fan favorites, correct? They were already all-time great players, right? Nothing else. They could do nothing else to make them even more beloved in the book of you, the Alabama football faithful. But their legend grew even bigger today because Will and Bryce told Coach Saban, told Alabama head coach Nick Saban, we are not opting out. Both are playing in the Sugar Bowl. Will Anderson and Bryce Young will both play in the Sugar Bowl. News came up from ESPN's Chris Lowe and Pete Thamel, both talking with Coach Saban. Coach Saban made it known. He spoke to both players. They both told him, Coach, we ain't sitting this one out. Coach, we all in. Coach, we want to give the Alabama fan base one last hurrah. And we will both be on the field. We will both play. We will both participate in the All-State Sugar Bowl from New Orleans, Caesar Superdome on New Year's Eve at 11 a.m. Leadership. Leadership at its finest. Permanent team captains at its finest. Alabama culture at its finest. These guys, not about us, it's about the team. Both of these two projected top 5 picks. Either one of these two could be the number 1 overall pick. But despite that, Coach Saban, Alabama fan base, we doing this for you. We're going to play in the All-State Sugar Bowl. Eli, I'm excited about this. Now, how much action will both get? That remains to be seen. Me personally, I have Bryce Young out there for a couple of series, maybe a quarter. Great job, son. Get him out of there. Go to Ty Simpson and Jalen Milroe, or Jalen Milroe and Ty Simpson next. Will Anderson, let him go for the first half or for 3 quarters. That fourth quarter, Will, you were tremendous for us. Have a seat, son. Get ready for the NFL. But the fact that both of these two not opting out, we're going to play in the Sugar Bowl. We're going to get that one final ring, that Sugar Bowl ring, and go out with a bang. That just shows you how strong this culture is under Coach Saban. Guys, other programs, I'm going to opt out. I'm going to sit this game out. Bryce Young, Will Anderson, top 5 prospects for the draft. Either one of these two, if not both, could have sat out, and nobody would have had a problem with it. They both said, no, we all in. We playing. And not just these two. Every draft-eligible player for Alabama's playing. No one's opting out. Jahmyr Gibbs is playing. Cameron Latu is playing. DJ Dale, Byron Young playing. Jordan Battle, DeMarco Helms playing. Every draft-eligible player. No one's opting out. Everybody's playing. This tells me Bama is all in and trying to dominate Kansas State in the bowl game, get that 11th win, end the season on a high note, and go into next year, go into next spring and next year, guns blazing, and trying to get back to the college football playoff and win a national championship. This is what the culture is about. You could opt out. You could save yourself and prepare for the NFL draft. And nobody would be mad at you. But Will Anderson, Bryce Young, bigger than us, bigger than the NFL draft. This is Alabama football. And we want to finish what we started in terms of this program. Coach Saban mentioned it today in his presser. Uberly proud of both of those two young men and everybody that chose to not opt out. He said today in practice, Saban said, hey, I'm feeling the energy of this team right now. I'm feeling it. Maybe it was needed, having the guys hit the transfer portal that did. And Saban said today, hey, I'm feeling the energy of this group right now after the first practice in bowl prep. So, good on Bryce Young. Good on Will Anderson. Good on all the draft-eligible players that chose to opt in for the Sugar Bowl. Folks, this is going to take us to our first break here. Don't touch that dial. We're just getting your chest warm on a Friday. When we get back, we take your calls, your thoughts, your conversations. Ring those phone lines. We get to you, the Bama Nation, right after this.
Nine players have teamed up and released the Alabama Team Paper, which is a video yearbook they've put out for sale direct to fans. Now, for the first time, small dollar purchases from the fans can support the players as a group as well as a great cause, because $1 of every subscription payment is donated to the Boys and Girls Club of America. Be a 5-star fan base and support your team and a great cause with Team Paper. Check it out at teampaper.com/Alabama.
Remember the taste of Grandma's delicious sweets? Emily's Heirloom Pound Cakes brings back those precious memories with just one bite. Each cake made from scratch. They make the perfect dessert to share with family and friends for any occasion, and ordering is easy. Visit emily'sheirloompoundcakes.com. Click the online store and shop. Then pick up your fresh cake at the kitchen in downtown Homewood. Order yours online at emily'sheirloompoundcakes.com. Emily's Heirloom Pound Cakes, making memories from scratch.
All right, guys, we're back into the action from the break. Hottest thing smoking. Talking Crimson Tide football in my own words. Yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA. And guys, shout out Brian Watson one time. $4.99. And the super chat's right there. Dancing Stephen, you know what time it is. Brian Watson, appreciate the love there from him. Daily super chat go $100. Daily super chat go $100 right there. Appreciate you guys for what you do. Continue hitting that like button. Give us that thumbs up. Run those likes past the moon right there. Trying to get this show 50 likes out the gate right now. Appreciate you guys hitting the like button. I'm so pumped up. I just hit my ear. Can you give me a gauze pad, Eli? I just hit my ear for no apparent reason. I'm just that pumped right now. Hit my ear. Anyway, hopefully I can hear for the next 30 minutes. Anyway, but phone lines open here, 205-448-1358. Number to call in to let your voice be heard on the show, 205-448-1358. One more time, 205-448-1358. as you guys are getting your thoughts in the call in. So, a lot of chatter in the chat line about it'd be good for Bill O'Brien to opt out. Can O'Brien just sit this one out? Can OB opt out? As much as the Bama Nation and even I myself would love for OB to sit this out, OB is not even opting out. So, Bill O'Brien coaching this game for the offense, just like the players, are not opting out for this game either. But proud of Bryce Young, Will Anderson, all of the draft eligible players for wanting to finish what they started here at the program. And something interesting, Eli, is our first call topic. A.J. McCarron, Mobile, Alabama native, former Crimson Tide quarterback, winning as Alabama quarterback in school history, 3-time BCS national champion. 2 of those championships came with him as the starting quarterback. He had some words for this current Alabama football coach, and that being, these guys aren't built like I was and the teams I played on back then. We were built different, tougher. We had something to prove. Karen is speaking to the transfer culture that's happening now in college football when, you're not being catered to immediately as a player. You see the portal open, you're like, let me just go hop in here because if they not listening to me, why should I hang around, right? If they're not listening to me, why should I remain when I can just hop in this portal, go elsewhere where, I can be heard. I can get my playing time. I can be, the creme de la creme big man, so to speak. But during the culture that A.J. McCarron, among others, came up in, times were different then. There was no transfer portal. If you transferred, you had to sit out a year. So it was, am I really willing to risk a year of playing football by sitting out than just sucking up and competing and trying to earn my keep? I mean, there was no transfer portal then. There was no NIL. I mean, yes, you had the occasional player maybe getting paid under the table, but there was no NIL. What you had, scholarship, like you had the ball. And then there was no social media. Social media was kind of a baby then. So if you had issues, you had problems, you had to duke it out on the field. You had to fight on the field. McCarron saying, hey, we were built different. We were built tougher back then. We're going to go to the phone lines to take this call. Call segment brought to you by the Blue Wrench Gang. You're live on the show. What's going on? How are you feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
Hey, yes. My name is Alan X, and I'm calling from Alexander City, Alabama. How you doing today, man?
Doing great, Alan, and yourself?
I'm doing just great, man. Love your show. And just got a couple of comments. First of all, I want to reiterate what you just said. I'm so proud of Bryce, and I'm so proud of our guys just deciding to play instead of, opting out. Like Nick Saban said earlier, it shows the character of his teammates. And the guys are just, all pulling together, trying to show us one final good job as far as playing football at the University of Alabama. But I want to bring up something to you, Stephen, that a lot of people may not realize. You may realize this, Stephen, what I'm about to say, but a lot of people may not realize this. But did you know that when Nick Saban was hired in 2007, all the way up to this year, did you realize that Nick Saban and Alabama has not went 3 years without winning at least one national championship? And you can go count it up if you haven't already. Got here 2007, 2008, no championship. 2009, third year, got one. 2010, no championship. 11, 12, got one. 13, 14, no championship. Third year, 15, championship. 16, no championship. 17, championship. Then 18 and 19, no championship. Then 20, championship. So now we're on the bubble. 21, 22, no championship. So guess what? Alabama fans, hold your head up high. We're going to be all right because next year should be a good year for the Crimson Tide of Alabama. And I want to thank you, Stephen, for giving me the chance to make this statement. Thank you so much. Love your show, man.
Appreciate Alan calling in, and yes, I did know that. I do know that Alabama has not gone 3 consecutive years without a championship. So the track record on Nick Saban in terms of that is good. He gets that championship in that 3rd year. Sometimes even before the 3rd year, but more times than not, if Saban has gone a year or 2 years without that national championship, by year 3, that championship come into the pocket here. So 2023 season, pretty promising when you look at the track record that Saban has had in Tuscaloosa. We grab this call. You're live on the show. What's happening? How we feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
Stephen, this is the president. What's shaking on Friday night?
Doing great, Waylon. Doing fantastic right now, man. I'm proud of Will and Bryce and all the draft-eligible players for Alabama choosing to not opt out but to play in the Sugar Bowl, trying to get this Sugar Bowl ring in here, send Bama off to end this season with an 11-2 record and get fired up for next spring. And, of course, I'm excited because tomorrow, Bama men's basketball takes on Gonzaga in Birmingham at Legacy Arena, and looking forward to seeing with Coach Oates and basketball if they can go 10-1.
Yeah, they needed to get in Legacy Arena. All the people's going to be at that basketball game. You can bank on that. You know, it's Troy won today. UAB had a good game. Did you catch some of them games? They done pretty good. Did you see some of that stuff?
I've seen the highlights, Waylon, but what I've enjoyed the most though is how the people are packing out Legacy Arena. I mean that shows the culture that Birmingham has in terms of packing out sporting venues. So proud of Legacy Arena getting this turnout.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be hopping. There's no doubt about it. But, I wanted to clear something up. I want to go back. These players, I've heard a lot of people say this year these players weren't practicing. They weren't in the weight room. They weren't looking at film. These guys were on the schedule during the regular season. It's like going to class. If they're not at practice, they're not in a film room, or they're not in the weight room, or they're not where they're supposed to be on time, somebody's ass is going to be on fire. These guys got to be at that schedule. They got to be everywhere it's on their schedule. So, yeah, they're working out, they're practicing, they're watching film, and they're going to be where they need to be. If not, they're going to exit the building and sit on the end of the bench, probably. I just wanted to clarify that for a few people. I don't mean to sound, mean and hateful, but these guys have to be where they have to be, and if they're lollygagging around like Coach Bryant used to be, they're going to be in trouble. So I don't even worry about that. But, yes, Goodwill and Bryce supposed to play, in the Sugar Bowl. That's their decision. It's not mine. That's between them and their coach. So that's what he said today. They sat down and discussed it. You might have been at the press conference. Was you at the press conference? Did you do a question? I missed you one. Was you there?
I was not there, Waylon, because doing this show right here, but I did catch the press conference. Saban spoke high of the entire team, not opting out. The guys have shown just tremendous energy today, the first day of bowl prep, and maybe a lot of that had to do with the guys that hit the transfer portal. Those guys went on to bigger and better things, but the guys that stayed, maybe this was the core group that needed to stay.
It looks that way. Well, we're going to hope, that they, able to play, get out of there, and, by halftime, and the other players can finish it off. But we'll see how the game goes. But anyway, y'all have a great weekend. The Blue Ridge Gang, y'all always look good. Everybody on this show makes us the hottest show on the street, hottest show on YouTube, hottest show in the world. Everybody, I don't know if I'll be around next week. It's Christmas. I got some things on the schedule. If not, y'all have a blessed Christmas and a happy New Year. I'll be back before New Year for the ball game. So y'all be safe, and if we're not here next week, y'all have a happy Christmas. Stephen, I'll see y'all later on. Bye-bye, everyone.
Appreciate the President Waylon calling into the show on a Friday. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA. We grab this call you'll have on the show. What's happening, how we feeling, state your name, and where you calling from.
How you doing, Stephen Smith? This is Jerry McCullum from Gary, Indiana. Alabama born, Millport, Alabama. Love your show, man. You do a great job. I just have a few things to say about Bryce and all the guys not opting out and not taking that protocol way out and getting ready for the NFL. So they have something to prove. So I'm glad that they didn't do that. And I've always been an Alabama fan, and I'm pulling for these guys to bounce back next year. And as A.J. McCarron said, they just need to be a little tougher, because I watched them with that Auburn game, and I never seen an Alabama team chase so many guys from another team trying to tackle them. So they're saving to get that straight, and we'll be back on track next year. Love your show, man. Merry Christmas to you. If I don't holler at you no more, and you have a good evening.
Appreciate my man Jalen calling out of Birmingham, giving his thoughts on the show. I mean, Eli, this is good. This is good because, I mean, like I mentioned, Bryce and Will, these two are projected top 5 picks, right? They're gonna go high in the first round. High in the first round. Either one of these two could be the number 1 overall pick. And if they chose to opt out, it wouldn't have been an issue for anybody really because people would understand. But the fact that they chose to play, it just shows the love and respect that they have for Coach Saban, 1, their teammates, 2, and the Alabama football fan base, 3. So you gotta love just the hunger and the point to prove, I guess, that Will and Bryce showing right here for doing this. But we take this call. You're live on the show. What's happening? How we feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
Hey, Stephen, it's Kyle from Georgia. How you doing?
Kyle, I'm doing great. And yourself?
I'm doing pretty good. It's good to get the news that Bryce and Will's going to play. Man, it's just it really makes me happy that these guys are going to play, and they're setting the standard, and maybe we can get back to Bama football next year in 2023, come out with a Sugar Bowl win, and get these guys. I know we lost Aaron Anderson and all these guys to the transfer portal, but hey, maybe it was just Saban cleaning house, like you said. Just clean the house, get them out. A.J. McCarron said it too. Hey, get some grit back into Alabama football. Get them back in there, shove their nose to the grindstone. If you don't like it, and you don't like all them national championship and SEC championship and West championship rings on your fingers, then get out. Get out of here.
I'm going to say this, Kyle.
You understand what I'm feeling?
Kyle, I understand what you're feeling. I'm going to say this. When you look at this 2023 class, which several of those guys will sign on the 21st, and quite a few of these guys, 6 of them to be exact, are already here for bowl prep. A lot of these freshmen coming in, their mindset is, I'm taking what's mine. I'm resetting the culture and I'm taking it. A lot of these kids coming in, they're ready right now.
That's what I'm saying. What about the quarterback, Dylan Lonergan? I love it, man. He's in there practicing. He's getting ready. I follow you, man. I don't know if he's your brother or if your cousin but I follow the other Smith fella there on the Alabama page, and he does pretty good. But I like the Dylan Lonergan stuff up in there practicing for the bowl prep now. I like that.
I mean, absolutely. You got him in there. You got Holstein in there. You got Miles McVay in there. You got 6 guys that said, Coach Saban, we'll come up in here and we'll help you guys prepare for Kansas State. And, of course, those 6 guys can travel to the bowl site. They can't play, unfortunately, but they can travel there and kind of get a taste of what they will see come next year. But appreciate Kyle for that call right there, call out of Georgia, giving us his energy here on the show. So, going to be exciting here to see these guys prepare for bowl prep, to get some toughness back in the program, to get some excitement in this program going into next year. I mean, I'm just, is it me or I'm pumped Will and Bryce are going to play in this game. Now, once again, like I said, I would give Bryce a couple of series, at most a quarter. Go ahead and pull him out of there after the quarter. Give Will Anderson a half. Maybe 3 quarters, pull them out 4th quarter. Get the young guys in there. Let them get that taste for next spring and next season. We're going to go to a break. We're going to go to a break right here, folks. Don't touch that down. When we get back, we got the legend himself, all things recruiting. Justin Smith will be joining us. You'll hear from him after this.
Touchdown Alabama Magazine is Alabama football's premier publication. A subscription to Touchdown Alabama Magazine is the perfect gift for any Alabama fan. For exclusive news and information, recruiting updates, a free annual print magazine, and more, go to touchdownalabama.com and click join. Only $7.95 per month, or pay $74.95 for a full year subscription. That's a yearly saving of $20. Go to touchdownalabama.com today and roll Tide.
All right, folks, we're back into the action from the break on a Friday TGIF edition of the show. Hottest show on the streets, talking Bama. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA. Got the man Eli Walker in the production studio. We got 31 likes right now, but continue to hit the like button. Give us that thumbs up. Hit that like button on the show. Trying to hit 50 likes right here. Press that like button right there. Appreciate you guys. Daily Super Chat Go $100. Daily Super Chat Go $100 right there. It's you guys, the Bama Nation, that make this show what it is. We thank you. We go to the phone line. We go to the In My Own Words hotline right now. We pick up the man that does not stop working. This is his time of the year. We're talking recruits, signing day. Can Bama get that number one class? We bring in the man that does it better than that does it better than everybody else. We got Justin Smith right here, the lead scouting and recruiting analyst for TDA. Justin, we know you're here. You're going to lay it on us. How you feeling right now?
I'm feeling good, Steve.
Hey, we got Justin right. We got Justin Smith right here. So Jay, I mean, your time of the year is here, man. Next week we're talking National Signing Day. Bama trying to get the number one class. Now, these guys are going to come in here early for a spring ball, what have you. But out the gate here, Crimson Tide commits. They're trying to get a flip from one guy in particular, that being Caden Proctor, high offensive tackle prospect. Now, he's currently committed. He's currently looking at Iowa right now. But you got guys like Richard Young, 5-star running back commit for Alabama, among others, trying to pull him to the Crimson Tide and give Nick Saban and Alabama that yes on the 21st of next week, that being National Signing Day, the early portion of it. Do you sense a flip coming from Proctor to the Crimson Tide? How close is Alabama to possibly flipping the high offensive tackle prospect?
Yeah, I think they're very close. I think they're closer to flipping him than flipping anybody else at this point in the recruiting cycle. He is set to, according to most reports, unofficially visit Alabama this weekend. He already officially visited Alabama during the summer, so of course his next visit will have to be an unofficial. And of course, with these things like this, biggest thing, you have to make sure that the visit goes as planned. Make sure you get the guy on campus, but with them coming to campus, that's a good sign for Alabama. Because like I said, it's unofficial visit. The official visit, Alabama covers the cost for everything. But unofficial visit, you're going on your own dime, which says a lot a week away from National Signing Day. So at the worst, he's at least thinking very hard on the decision. If you're coming from Iowa to Alabama, you definitely are thinking about everything, and it's going to be a decision that you will have to make. So I think the Tide are in a really, really strong position to flip Caden Proctor, 5-star offensive lineman, arguably the top tackle in the country, and it just shows what Nick Saban can do, how effective he is on the recruiting trail. Crimson Tide's recruiting class was looking great, awesome. They had no recruiting class according to most recruiting sites a couple of weeks ago. But then you add Keon Keegley and possibly adding Caden Proctor, 2 5-stars. And you could add Quay Russo and James Smith. The Crimson Tide could close this 2023 recruiting class over the next 2 or 3 weeks to close it out with 4 5-star recruits. And I think this just shows what Alabama has been able to do, and it'll be another great win for the Crimson Tide. And on paper, I know we said this so many times, and it's crazy, it's insane, but on paper, we're going to have to look at this class, at least by their rankings and their ratings and their potential, as, again, arguably a top class for Alabama. You're going to compare them with some of the best classes of all time, at least on paper, because we know that 2017 class was good on paper, but it was good on the field. But at least on paper, this class will be as good as some of those classes, which have to come in and produce for you to get the title to say that you were the best recruiting class. But this class is shaping up to be another great one, unsurprisingly, for Alabama.
We got Justin Smith right here, lead scouting and recruiting analyst for Touchdown Alabama Magazine, if you're just checking us out here on a Friday. So, Justin, of this group, 6 names, they're already on campus helping the Crimson Tide Sugar Bowl prep for Kansas State. That matchup will be New Year's Eve, 11 a.m. Central Time kickoff from Cedar Superdome in New Orleans, Louisiana. Those 6 names, you look at guys like Eli Holstein, quarterback, Miles McVay, offensive lineman, Wilkin Formby, offensive lineman, Raquez McElderry, offensive lineman, defensive lineman, Hunter Osborne, defensive back, Brayson Hubbard. Those are the names right there. But in terms of the names I just listed, which one, in your opinion, or which couple, in your opinion, could have the biggest impact in bowl prep, getting Alabama set to take on Kansas State?
I think possibly Eli Holstein could get some looks as a scout team quarterback. We've seen that in the past. I think the offensive lineman, like you said, something that it did bring in 3. So hopefully just get 1 or 2 of those guys in the mix to serve, like you said, as a scout team player. Give you some good looks. And like Nick Saban said at the press conference, of course, they're going to have to get acclimated to the outdoor practices. They're going to wear helmets and jerseys for the first couple of practices. And I'm pretty sure as they go on and continue to learn more, which is the most important thing for those guys, that they get in, get to learn a lot, sit in meetings, sit in position groups meetings. They're getting to learn how that goes, get a foot up on the other guys set to come, even as the other early enrollees on January 8th. So that is great for those guys. But I think giving Alabama a good look, I think the offensive line will be beneficial. I think the quarterback as well. Eli Holstein could serve as a scout team quarterback. Like I said, we've seen Jalen Hurts do that in the past. Guys like Hunter Osborne, he's going to be able to, I think it's going to really just benefit him being inside, like I said, those meeting rooms, just getting acclimated to practice.
So, Justin, you talked about this, and this class was looking extremely strong leading up to this point. But if you can flip Caden Proctor and then have James Smith and Quay Russaw joining the likes of Keon Keeley, that's 4 5-stars down the stretch you can end with right there, and far and away have a number 1 class. But just in your opinion, Justin, how has Coach Saban been able to just do this in a year where Alabama, with 2 losses, with the loss to LSU, with the loss to Tennessee, Alabama having guys that hit the transfer portal, including 12 or 13 scholarship names, but at the end of the day, it's Nick Saban. He's going out there, and the young guys are still saying, that's Coach Saban. I'm vibing with that guy no matter what. In your opinion, how was he able to do this despite the guys hitting the portal, despite having a 2-loss season?
Well, it's still Nick Saban at the end of the day. Those guys know that it was only 2 plays, 4 points that determined Alabama's fate at the end of this season. A lot of these commits right now are hungry at the fact that they are getting looked at that way. I'm going to write a story about it. It's going to be featured on our signing day show as well. But Malik Benson, the JUCO wide receiver, number 1 JUCO prospect in the country, who is going to early enroll at the University of Alabama, he said he's excited to come in to show everyone how everything is done at Alabama, because he just feels like he's already incorporated into the program. He feels like he said he's actually happy that everyone is feeling this way about Alabama, saying that the dynasty is over. I heard that from so many other guys, that they're happy that it's a feeling around the program, giving them extra motivation to come in and try to compete. But like I said, it's the mystique is still around Alabama. It happens all the time. I think the biggest thing you have to remember, even though this is a quote-unquote down year for Alabama, these kids grow up, they have only seen Alabama dominate. They have only seen Alabama under Nick Saban. So if you are an older fan, just imagine that. The only thing you've seen from Alabama is Nick Saban. There's a lot of great things that you got to see from the Crimson Tide. So they see that. And when Nick Saban, and another thing I think coming down the stretch here, it is different when you get an opportunity to talk on the phone with them, even meet them on campus. All those guys are starstruck all the time when they get an opportunity to meet him. They always talk about when they get an Alabama offer, it's Alabama and all of that. But it's an extremely different thing when Nick Saban is knocking on your front door. He's coming to your living room. He's coming to your house. that's something that's completely different. So that's why you see so many things change down the stretch for Alabama when Nick Saban is able to go in home, come to your school, visit your parents. They show you that type of love. And I think that is one of the things that happened to Caden Proctor. Nick Saban comes into your house, talks to your family, gives that one last late push. A lot of times it works.
Justin, we're going to stick with that right there before we end up with you here. And my thought process in asking this question is, when you've been able to talk to, interview, scout out, analyze a lot of these young men in this 2023 class, what has been the vibe you've gotten from them? Because to me, I feel like these guys are coming in saying, we want to not only reset the culture, but we want to make sure that we leave here with some national championship rings. I mean, Caleb Downs, after his state championship game, the young man from Mill Creek High School in Georgia, he's saying, I'm coming to chase national championship rings. You got guys that have the slogan, rings over Lambos. I think they're taking a shot there at Jimbo Fisher in Texas A&M, but that's besides the point. It's when you look at these young men, when you talk to them, when you scout them, when you evaluate them, what's the vibe you have picked up from all of these young men in terms of how bad they want it in terms of Alabama football?
I think the biggest thing for them, of course, they want to help reestablish the culture at Alabama, but I think the biggest thing for them personally is that they see opportunities. They see guys hitting the transfer portal. They see guys about to move on to the NFL. So many of these guys have just that sometimes can't seem to contain themselves as how excited that they are about the fact that they will have an opportunity, at least a window of an opportunity to get playing time. I think this is the first time since I've been covering where I've seen so many guys talk about that they want to come in and play. Like you see some guys take, I guess, the modest approach, say, I want to come in, work hard, and see where the chips fall, I guess. But you hear a lot of these guys say they want to come in and make an immediate impact. And I think that goes back to what I said, I think the last time I was with you. It's so many positions on this team next year where there's a window of opportunity for so many people. Look at the wide receiver position. Of course, Alabama's wide receiver rotation was deep last year, but no one in that group proved themselves that they definitely earned a spot, and they're going to have a spot. You can't say Ja'Cory Brooks maybe, but it's still up in the air for him. I think he can be a number one wide receiver, but there's opportunity at that wide receiver position along the offensive line. If you lose Emil Ikior, Tyler Steen, Javion Cohen in the transfer portal, even some reserve guys, Amari Kite, China Bowles, there's opportunities there for some younger guys. I know Wyquez McElderry, who I feel is a big sleeper in this 2023 class. He's one of those guys who just couldn't contain his excitement for having the opportunity to possibly make an impact and get into their rotation early. Defensive line is wide open. Inside linebacker is wide open. That secondary is wide open. Tight end is wide open. So many position groups are wide open. I think these guys are ready to come in, at least work hard to see where they will be and possibly get an opportunity to play early.
He is Justin Smith, folks, the lead scouting and recruiting analyst for TDA. You can check out his show, The Process, every Tuesday and Thursday right here on our YouTube channel. Justin breaks it down bit by bit, piece by piece, frame by frame. I'm telling you, if you're not following this dude for Alabama recruiting, I question your fandom. I question your love for Crimson Tide recruiting. Justin, man, we appreciate you so much coming on here. Next week, you and I, we got a date and hosting this National Signing Day show. That's going to be fun. But, man, we'll see you soon, man.
Thank you for having me again, Stephen.
Absolutely. Justin Smith right here breaking it down, 2023 class. I'm excited for these kids already. They ain't even half, not even here yet. Excited for these young men to get here, show us what they can do on this field. We take a break right now, folks. When we get back, we back on you. Your phone calls, your thoughts, your conversations. Find us up right after this.
Every sports fan deserves the proper representation. Whitwell Sports introduces to you the Title Towel. Wave that Title Towel in the air like you just don't care in support of Nick Saban and the Alabama Crimson Tide. Only $9.99 and it lasts a lifetime. Head on over to whitwellsports.com and get your Title Towel today. Touchdown Alabama Magazine is Alabama football's premier publication. A subscription to Touchdown Alabama Magazine is the perfect gift for any Alabama fan. For exclusive news and information, recruiting updates, a free annual print magazine, and more, go to touchdownalabama.com and click join. Only $7.95 per month, or pay $74.95 for a full year subscription. That's a yearly saving of $20. Go to touchdownalabama.com today and roll Tide.
All right, people, we're back into the action from the break. Hottest show on the streets, talking Bama football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen M. Smith of TDA. Already over 60 likes here on the show. Let's get this thing to 100 likes right now. Hit that like button. Give us that thumbs up. Run those likes up right there. Appreciate you guys. All donations, welcome and appreciate it. Daily Super Chat go $100 daily. Super Chat go right there. Big ups to my man Justin Smith in that last segment, talking Crimson Tide recruiting for 2023. We go to the phone lines to grab your calls. The call segment brought to you by the Blue Wrench Gang, 205-448-1358. Number to call in, 205-448-1358. We grab this call. You're live on the show. What's happening? How we feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
Steve, what's up with you, man? This is Jay from Florence.
Jay, what's going on, big man?
Chilling, man. Man, Kansas State, there ain't no joke, man.
It's going to be a good game.
There ain't no.
Going to be a good
one. Yeah, for sure about that. I like they offensive play caller. I like him. He real creative, and he creative, but he still keep that old school football when running downhill with a 5'5" running back. They coming straight at you with that man, Steve.
Absolutely, man. That would be Colin Klein, who played quarterback at Kansas State, was a Heisman finalist during his time there, and now he's the OC.
Oh, man, I'm so glad you said it, Steve. Now, look how they keeping everything in-house.
Right,
look how they kept their offensive coordinator in-house, and look at what he doing.
Right.
Man, I mean, come on, Steve. It ain't that hard. We got to get out of this coaching rehab. So can you please tell me if they done said something about getting old bird brain up out of there?
I'll say this, Jay. So the contract on O'Brien, it expires February 28th. It's over.
I'm saying what that mean though? Like is it official? He ain't gonna be our offensive coordinator, or like
after February 28th, he will officially not be the offensive coordinator.
So who would you like? Give me 2 or 3 names, Steve.
Okay, so who would I like here? I would like number 1, Garrett Riley, TCU. I really want him. Now it depends on how does TCU finish the season. If they win a national championship, it may be hard to get him because all head coaching offers are going to come to him. If they don't win the national title, it may be easier to get Garrett Riley. But that'd be the number 1 name. Number 2 name, Dan Mullen would be interesting for the point of Jalen Milroe, because Dan Mullen loves working with dual threat quarterbacks. So if you would get Dan Mullen, Jalen Milroe, that'd be a pretty nice option right there for him. Number 3, if you could pull it, I know he's in the NFL, but I still cannot let go of Joe Brady. If you could get him from the Buffalo Bills, that'll be nice.
Man, Steve, them the 3 names that I was thinking, but I ain't Joe Brady. That's a long shot, like you say, but man, Pete, we gonna really see what Pete made of this game, cause that young guy, what you say his name, Colin, whatever, the offensive coordinator at Kansas State, he ain't no joke, man. His play calling won them that Big 12 championship. They could not be stopped.
But the thing about Coach Klein, Jay, is he knows Kansas State does not have an over-the-top passing game, so he implements jet sweeps, zone reads, end arounds, just different things to get the ball in space.
You mean he calling plays that we've been calling for all season? Can we just see a jet sweep bill?
He been Klein Jay has been calling plays that the fan base has been screaming at Bill O'Brien about all year. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty sad, man. And I hope this game here, I hope it wake Nick up a little bit, because the old man, he sleep. Yeah, he getting old on us. I hate to say it, but this year I guess he was asleep. I don't know what happened, but man, we can't afford for no another coordinator like this, man. This here off season got to set the tone for the rest of the decade. We got Nick to 2030. Man, let's go put it on these folks, man. The recruits, they already coming in and talk about what they want to do. Well, give them somebody that's gonna call them the plays like they want to be called. But I don't know, man. Roll Tide, I love y'all.
Appreciate Jay from Florence calling in. Point blank, period. I mean, you got the young cats. They're coming in here ready to take somebody's job, somebody's spot. They're coming in here high energy, want to reset the culture. They're coming in here understanding that opportunities are open. Now, let's have the coaches to put them in position to be special. Let's have the guys on the coaching staff to put these young dogs in position to be successful there on the field. You guys continue to get your thoughts in. 205-448-1358. That's the number to call in. 205-448-1358. Did you get your thoughts ready, Eli? Cool topic right here. How about Bama alums in the NFL in terms of Pro Bowl opportunities? Now, I know we can't stay in the Pro Bowl. I don't know why that game's even played. There's no defense whatsoever in the Pro Bowl. Now, there's conversation that they will remove the Pro Bowl and just have like an all-skills challenge. I'd be cool with that. All-skills challenge down there in Hawaii? I'll take that. I mean, the Pro Bowl used to be fun. Now it's like, why am I here? Like, why am I watching this? Last year was cool, though, because Mac Jones helped the AFC beat the NFC 42-35. Pretty cool last year. But the point being, several Bama alums are in position to make the NFL Pro Bowl. Those guys, you look at names like Jalen Hurts, he's right there in position. Devontae Smith for the Eagles in position. Jalen Waddle for the Dolphins in position. Tua Tagovailoa for the Dolphins in position. There are others. Jonathan Allen for the Commanders in position. Deron Payne for the Commanders in position. Josh Jacobs for the Raiders in position. He actually leads the NFL in rushing. Crazy, Josh Jacobs. Derrick King Henry, Titans in position. And like I said, there's several guys in position here for the Pro Bowl. I would love to see B-Rob get in there as a Pro Bowl alternate. He's been playing, but will they put B-Rob in there as an alternate? Maybe not. Maybe so. Keep our fingers crossed there. But there's a few Bama alums position themselves for the NFL Pro Bowl. And for some of these guys, it will be their first Pro Bowl. So a potential big accomplishment for these guys right here. We're going to go to our final break on the show. Don't touch that dial. When we get back, we tidy up loose ends with there's an interesting rule. New rule. Only for this year. That's come out by the NCAA in terms of red shirts for freshmen. This could really benefit Bama in the Sugar Bowl. We'll talk about it after this.
Touchdown Alabama Magazine is Alabama football's premier publication. A subscription to Touchdown Alabama Magazine is the perfect gift for any Alabama fan. For exclusive news and information, recruiting updates, a free annual print magazine, and more, go to touchdownalabama.com and click join. Only $7.95 per month, or pay $74.95 for a full year subscription. That's a yearly saving of $20. Go to touchdownalabama.com today and roll Tide. Thank you for tuning in. Show your support right now by clicking that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button now and enable all notifications to make sure you don't ever miss any of the best Alabama football news, notes, and information right here on Touchdown Alabama.
All right, people, we're back in here to the action from the break. Hottest show on these streets. Talking Bama football in my own words, yours truly. Stephen Smith of TDA. Eli Walker in the production studio. Great show today. You guys continue to hit that like button, though. Smash the like button. Give us that thumbs up right there. Making sure show, network, platform, channel, space for Bama football. Also, every donation, every super chat, we appreciate that. Daily super chat go $100. Daily super chat go $100 right there. But, Eli, there's a new rule only for this season. In the bowl season, a new waiver has come from the NCAA. This is very interesting. And it goes into the redshirt rule for true freshmen. Very interesting. According to the NCAA, they're doing a one-time exception waiver, postseason waiver. This waiver will take effect after December 15th. One-time waiver. What the waiver is true freshmen can play in a postseason game and not lose their red shirt. This is very interesting because remember, the new red shirt rule was you can play up to 4 games as a true freshman. Doesn't matter which 4 games it is. You can play up to 4 games and keep your red shirt. You would not have to burn your red shirt. You can play up to 4 games, right? So now it's you can play 4 games, but for this season only, you can play the bowl game too and not lose your red shirt. How does this benefit Alabama? Think about it. Ty Simpson, Danny Lewis Jr., Chaz Preston, Sean Murphy. Those players have only played 4 games this season. Ty Simpson, Jeremiah Alexander, Danny Lewis Jr., Sean Murphy, Chaz Preston. They've only played 4 games this season. All those guys can play in the Sugar Bowl. And they can get a lot of action in this matchup and will not lose their red shirt. Think about this. How often can we see Ty Simpson in the Sugar Bowl? How many reps is he going to get now? Because you would think you're not going to play Bryce Young a whole lot in this game. You're going to use much of this to look at Jalen Milroe and Ty Simpson. What is his future going to look like for Alabama at quarterback? With this waiver being done, how much do we see Ty Simpson? And how quickly do we see him take the field in this matchup? That's going to be intriguing. And then along with that, how many reps could we see from Chaz Preston? From a freakish outside linebacker in Jeremiah Alexander? From Sean Murphy, former 5-star inside linebacker? Danny Lewis Jr., very athletic tight end. After the bowl game, no more Cameron Latu. You got Amari Nablack. You got Danny Lewis Jr. You signed both of them as freshman athletic tight ends. How often do we see Danny Lewis in this game? This waiver, very, very interesting coming from the NCAA. I'm pumped for this Sugar Bowl now. I mean, I was already pumped, but with what Will and Bryce did, other draft-eligible players not opting out, and now this waiver? I'm like, football on crack right now for this shit. Real. Eli, can we just go down there now? I mean, we can't go down there now, but man, gotta go down there now. See what the beignets are about. Gumbo and crawfish. For that, folks, as always, you want the best in news, notes, information, coverage here, entertainment on your favorite program. That being the Crimson Tide. You can get this by accessing the Touchdown Alabama Magazine app. Now, you download the app from the iPhone App Store if you're rocking Team Apple. Google Play Store if you got the Android phone. For your audio needs, check us out. iTunes or Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Spreaker, TuneIn Radio, Overcast.fm, or iHeartRadio. There you go right there. Folks, as always, you can purchase individual copies of Touchdown Alabama Magazine. have those sent to your door. That link found in the description. You're trying to get the fresh edition, print edition of TDA the magazine, you go to touchdownalabama.com, click join, become a member or a subscriber today. That's found in the description as well. Gotta shout out my man Justin Smith, the lead scouting and recruiting analyst for TDA, baby. Talking that 2023 class. Will Alabama flip Caden Proctor? Boy, we gonna see this. Gotta shout out you guys, the outstanding fans of Bama football. All the love, all the likes, super chats, donations, calls, chats, conversations. You're making this show exactly what it is. Gotta show some love to my man Eli Walker in the production studio, handling that business behind the scenes there, doing his thing. Absolutely. Gonna enjoy Bama basketball tomorrow, taking on Gonzaga at Legacy Arena here in Birmingham. Hopefully Coach Oates and the guys can get that win. But until next time, folks, husbands, love your wives. Wives appreciate, value those husbands. Children, continue doing the right thing, fun thing, smart thing, good thing, legitimate thing, to not be bored as you're enjoying that Christmas break. Get you those 3 hearty meals a day, those 3 great laughs a day. You protect yourself. You protect the loved ones around you. The next time, folks, I'm your man, Stephen M. Smith. You've been listening to In My Own Words.